Hi guys, welcome back to Holly's Kitchen, and today I'm going to show you how to make a whole chicken in a cast iron pan. It's awesome. You're not going to want to miss it. So let's get started. So first of all, obviously you will need a chicken, a whole chicken, just like that. I like to purchase mine at butcher shops. I feel that the chickens are just, they're nicer, they're whiter, not a lot of hormones in some of the chickens, so just make sure you ask when you go to a butcher. Or if you can't go to a butcher, then just make sure that you buy a really good chicken. So I have my chicken. I have 1 lemon. I also have 3 cloves of garlic and some thyme, rosemary, and we're going to emulsify all of that together, the thyme and the rosemary, with some olive oil, and we're going to put it in a blender, and we're going to rub it all over the chicken. So, the first thing I want you to be able to see is I also have fennel. Now, I was never exposed to fennel. Fennel's new for me. But boy, the first time I made this dish and used fennel, the flavors are amazing. So what fennel, the flavor of fennel is, it's kind of like a licorice or an anise flavor. But when you smell it, it definitely smells like licorice. But when you cook it with chicken at a really high temperature, the flavor is just, with onions, is a really, really, really good flavor. And your kitchen will smell amazing. So I'm going to show you how to cut fennel. I didn't know how to do this. I had to have somebody show me. So this is what it looks like. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut, obviously, the last piece off, which is a little disgusting. And then all you're really going to use on the fennel is this portion. You can throw the rest of the stalks away. There's probably something very good you could do with the stalks, but I haven't gotten to that yet. So I'm going to cut all the stalks off and save the portion of the fennel. So this is what it looks like. Here's the larger piece. So I'm going to throw the rest of this away. And I'm just going to chop the fennel similar to an onion. It's very, very similar. I've already chopped some in my pan, in my cast iron pan, but I wanted to show you what fennel looks like. So this is kind of what it looks like. And I'm going to chop it and kind of I'm going to have it. Oh, the smell is incredible of this stuff. So here's my cast iron pan. And inside my cast iron pan, I already have fennel. And I also have half of a really large onion in here. And that's it so far. So I am going to make use of this extra fennel that I put in here because you can never have enough. It's so good. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a rub for the chicken. And that consists of about a 1/4 cup of olive oil, and we're going to put it right in the blender. I also have, probably 3 sprigs of rosemary and a lot of thyme, probably 3 sprigs of thyme. And I'm just going to put it all in my olive oil in the blender. After that, I'm going to take 3 cloves of garlic. As I mentioned to you guys before, I like to buy garlic that's already peeled. I do have a garlic press, but when it comes to garlic, I don't know what it is. I'm lazy. So I like buying the garlic already peeled. So here I have 3 cloves. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to smash the garlic just so that it chops a little bit easier in the blender, so it's all even when you're blending. I'm going to stick that right in the blender. Then I'm going to cut And this is kind of interesting. So I'm going to cut the lemon in 4s. And I'm going to take 1/2 of the lemon and I'm going to actually squeeze it. Remember I told you the hand trick? Squeeze it in your hand first so that the seeds fall in your hand, not in the dish that you're preparing. And I'm squeezing the lemon juice, just 1/4 of it in the dish. And then I'm not going to throw this lemon away. The rest, or the other thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to stick the lemons right inside the cavity of the chicken. Now, if your chicken's too small, you don't have to use an entire lemon, but putting lemon inside the cavity just makes the chicken really, really tasty. So, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some salt and pepper, which, as I mentioned, I don't like to use often. And I'm just going to put some salt over my chicken. Then I'm going to use some pepper. And I'm going to pepper my chicken. One really important thing to do too is when you buy a whole chicken, make sure you wash it. You should wash any chicken. But when you wash it, also make sure that you dry it really, really well. Because if you put a wet chicken into the oven, you don't get the crispy crust of the outside. And that's the best part of this dish, is the real, real brown crust that you get, because we're going to roast it at a really high heat in the cast iron pan. So now I am going to emulsify my ingredients. And then what you're going to do is, first of all, get a towel, because your hands are going to get very sticky when you do this. So here's my cast iron pan with my fennel and my onions. I'm going to take my chicken and I'm going to put it on the cutting board, just like that. And I'm just going to kind of liberally pour this marinade over the chicken. And then I'm going to just rub, make sure your hands are clean, or you can use gloves if you're having company, and oftentimes I'll use gloves. Just kind of rub the marinade all over the chicken. Just like that. How pretty that is. And then all you're going to do is stick it right on top of your onion and fennel. And oftentimes I will take the marinade and kind of, that's in my hand. I know it's not very pretty to do this, but it's amazing when it comes out of the oven. And just kind of massage your onions and your fennel, just so every little piece gets some of the yummy oil, the garlic, and the rosemary and thyme. And then just kind of pour whatever's left around the sides. What this also does is you're marinating your vegetables at the bottom so they don't burn. And then the chicken juices, when they cook down, they also kind of marinate your vegetables in it. And you get like a caramelized chicken, or caramelized onion and fennel at the bottom of your chicken when you roast it in a cast iron pan. I cannot stress enough the importance of having a cast iron pan. It is a lifesaver. So how quick was that? You have an entire dinner in your cast iron pan, and you probably have lunch for a couple days after that. So all you're going to do is roast it in your oven at 425 for probably between 50 minutes to an hour, sometimes shorter, sometimes longer, all depends on your oven. Also make sure you use a thermometer and check your poultry temperature on your thermometer. Make sure that the chicken is cooked. So all you're going to do is plop it right in the oven, and you have an entire dinner. So I hoped you enjoyed this informational on my rosemary lemon chicken, and I'll see you next time.